In this kind of situation, what should you do? Without taking proper measure, you might be harmed. Any wrong move, it might cost your life. So firstly, the thing that you must do is assess your surrounding. Check whether the intruder have any weapon beside him or her. When you try to check the surrounding, when you try to check whether the intruder have weapon or not, you must make sure first that you are in a place that wasn't spotted by the intruder. Make yourself invisible. Make sure that you are not being seen by the intruder. Next, if the intruder is armed, you make sure that you never trigger them. Don't make any kind of voices and just alert the CMT members or any authority that can help you through WhatsApp, message or call. If the intruder seems to be not armed, notify the CMT members or any authority, and after that you can just shout at the top of your lungs to make them afraid and escape from your house. This will make the intruder deter their intention to do any stealings or do any bad things to the tenant or students. It is one of the best course of action.
Okay, that afternoon, the victim called the head of CMT member, and then the victim tells about the incident that happened to her, which someone was trying to break into a room and so on. So, the head of CMT immediately want to meet his colleague as well. So, she decided to contact them through WhatsApp group to inform this issue and talk about the time for their meeting to take the correct decision and action as well.
All the CMT members have been notified about the crisis and the CMT is activated. All CMT members will meet at the command center to discuss on the best ways to handle the crisis according to the plans that was formed beforehand. We will proceed with the plan that is most suitable to mitigate and minimize the impact of the crisis, which in this case is safety issues in Unicel Hostel. In this video, the CMT members are meeting at the primary command center, but in the case where it is not accessible or there are restrictions where we are not allowed to gather, like when we were having the movement control order, we can opt to use an online platform as an alternative. CMT leader will lead the meeting with participation from the other members. They will come up with a consensus on how to act in the current situation, how they will cooperate with the authorities involved such as the police, to start their own internal investigation and to do as needed. They also need to prepare an official statement for the public, and lastly, they need to do the report which will be submitted to the higher up.
As its CMT members, it is important to know the story behind it, such as what happened when the intruder comes in. Did the criminal assaulted or hurt the victim? Is there anything stolen in the house? Interviewing the victims is a way to know the accident that happened. By doing that, we can help and file the report against the criminal and make the authorities press charges. This way, no houses can be intruded or broken into. Next, after interviewing the victims may somehow be traumatized by the situation or event that happened. Having a professional psychiatrist or sent to a counseling session may help the victim to recover from a bad experience.
So, our topic of the crisis that we chose to accomplish this task is about safety issues in Unicell. So the crisis is invasion of the females hostel. So as a conclusion, every institution will have an unexpected crisis that we even don't know when or how the crisis can happen. So we also need to be careful and take necessary steps to prevent this from happening. So management in managing the crisis should be emphasized because good and organized management will produce a good and effective results, such as the superior or hostel management or the crisis management team, as known as CMT also. They must take some action to resolve the problem. Besides that, to avoid unwanted events, students also must make sure that each door and window are closed and securely locked. And the Unicell that responsible must ensure that all hostel facilities are complete, such as each porch or balcony or open area that is easy for people to intrude on, and it must be equipped with grills or fences. In addition, victims of the crisis, they also need to take safety precautions to protect themselves, such as asking for help from friends or people around, or even reporting on incidents to hostel residents or senior management. So after all that happened, everyone in Unicell had to play their respective roles, and after that, the level of surveillance and security needs to be tightened. And last, our safety, our rights.